Right. So initially, when I was looking for a diagnosis, I was put on antibiotics, and then treating, um, when that didn't resolve, then we found out that I had pulmonary emboli. Once I didn't have, nobody gave me an inhaler. So I didn't have a lot of other treatments other than the one that I'm on now. That's because there are no treatments, or until this year, there were no other treatments for my disease. So you had to figure out what you had before they put you on kind of standard of care, which is immunosuppressants and oxygen, basically. The other thing I have to do is I have to manage reflux, which is important because that triggers cough and then also may trigger worsening of my disease. But that's it. I don't have a lot of treatment options that that I kind of had to cycle through. Yeah, so since 2018, when I started on immunosuppressants, my lung function stabilized. Then I participated in a clinical trial for one of the antifibrotic medications, and did a lot of lifestyle changes. So this last time that I had a pulmonary function test, we showed some improvement, which was great news. And that's probably because the inflammation that was in my lungs due to the exacerbation has reduced. But I'm very cautious now about what I do and where I go and who I do it with, and what sort of stress I put my body under. So I was sort of hard charging before and doing kind of more endurance athletic events and that kind of thing. And I've kind of gone away from doing that kind of stuff. The bigger thing for me was actually the mental health effects of the disease. I went from, so I'm an entrepreneur. I founded 4 companies. 2 of them I served as CEO for. So, I really had this self-image of me as a very strong, healthy, independent woman who was able to sort of do what she wanted to do. And I had pretty lofty goals for life and in work and outside of work. And CHP sort of stopped me in my tracks. I went from having like that self-image of a strong, healthy, independent woman to being sick and weak and dependent on my husband and oxygen to sort of get me through my day. And that loss of self was really important. It was pretty traumatic for me. And so all of a sudden I was dealing with things that I had never even really thought about much in terms of anxiety and depression, and sort of having to kind of reinvent myself and rethink about my life. And there were some pretty dark times during that, and there still continue to be some pretty dark times on that journey.